What's up, everybody, and welcome to the brand new and improved Wolfman Art and Entertainment. And today, we have a special guest, one of my best and longtime friends and fellow movie nerd, Mr. Austin Sames.
How you guys doing?
So, we watched The Predator.
Growing up to the originals, this was hard to watch.
This is not great. I mean,
No.
I will say, though, it wasn't the worst.
It wasn't as bad as I thought and what I heard.
Okay, yeah, maybe it wasn't the worst, wasn't the right word to describe it, but definitely, it wasn't, okay, yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, that's for damn sure. Before we really start this off, I want to say sorry to everyone that watched my first video. It's my first try, and I didn't put any spoiler alerts in there, so if you haven't seen the movie, yeah, I might have spoiled your day a little bit. But anyways, we're gonna do a half of this video. We're just gonna give you a basic description of what the movie was and our general idea on it, and then after that, if you haven't seen the movie and you really want to, you can stop the movie, but if you want to see the spoiler review, watch the second half of the video where we're just going to go in depth and talk about all the things, all the many things they had to complain about. So, this is another episode of Wolfman at the Movies, The Predator.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Predator. Oh, God, I don't even know where to start with The Predator.
It's so messy, you don't even know where to start.
This is a very messy film. I guess we'll give you just a basic rundown of what this movie is. So apparently, we open up with a Predator, I guess, crash landing somewhere in Mexico, conveniently around the same time of this military black ops thing that's going on. And this guy ends up being in the wrong place at the wrong time, sees a Predator ship. He takes a couple things for himself and mails it back to his home in America, and his son uncovers the box and mistakenly triggers the homing beacon to bring in more Predators, and it's just a lot of CGI chaos after that. That's a basic rundown of the movie. So as we kind of initially said, it wasn't as bad as we thought.
Yeah.
But what were some of the things that you kind of liked?
I liked how they tried to throw back to the original and, well, the first two on some things. They at least tried with some of the one-liners. I mean, yeah, some of the other one-liners sucked. But, I mean, they did try to throw back. They did keep it as a sequel, not a remake, a rehash. And
they did. I mean, I will give them that. I did like that they actually did acknowledge 1 and 2. It wasn't like it just didn't exist.
Yeah.
They did acknowledge it, so that was cool. I liked how the Predator looked when we first saw him. He looked pretty decent, I thought.
Yeah, and that's because it goes back to the original. It's a guy in a suit. The animatronics are there. It's good. I mean, some original, some classics, they don't need to be messed with. It works. You don't need to CGI the crap out of everything. It's when the other Predator shows up that's all CGI.
Yeah, that's where I start losing it too. It's the characters in this movie are they're kind of all one note. Like, I even brought
they're expendable.
They're totally expendable. I even brought up when we were watching it just how it was so convenient when this Marine character gets locked up with all these
loonies.
other characters, and yeah, these loonies, and they all kind of have their own little shtick, their own little deal. Like one guy's the funny guy, one guy's the Tourette's guy, and I feel like they didn't let us really discover that. They just kind of said, this is who these people are, but
they didn't build the characters up to where you felt anything for them.
Yeah.
So when they died, it was like, nah, it's just like I said, expendable. They were purely there for body count.
Yeah. Also, this movie jumped around a lot. I felt like it was kind of scene to scene. It didn't really flow. It was just, now you're in the laboratory, now you're in the forest, now you're in a suburban neighborhood. It was just kind of all pieced together, and that kind of started to get old.
Yeah. That's a problem with a lot of movies nowadays, is just because they have the CGI doesn't mean you need it. It's like, here's a scene with some cool effects, here's another scene next to it. There's no real story, no flow. It's the CGI should be there to help tell the story, not be the story.
Yeah. I feel that as well. Yeah, you have to have something to say. Otherwise, you're just showing a bunch of stuff that honestly isn't even really eye candy all that much when you compare it to live action stuff. When you see it, when you have them back to back, it just, you see that they don't match. And I don't like there was, you even brought this up, where there's too many convenient moments, which I like to call because movie moments. Just, you don't really have to understand
Explain
why.
it or anything.
It just, thank God these were here at this time, and thank God this happened so that I could throw this movie line in from one of the first ones that was actually good.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah, get to the chopper, and they keep on trying to reference back to another one, or try to do another little homage scene that just, to me, it just fell flat. I kind of thought immediately I was just gonna hate this movie. I didn't think I was gonna give it any kind of a chance. And really, at the beginning of the movie, I was kind of intrigued. I didn't see a ton of CGI, and the CGI I did see, I feel like, kind of worked. I feel like it kind of was like, all right, this is interesting. There's a few elements here that's a little bit interesting. But then, as the movie progresses, it feels long. It feels long, and it feels like it starts jumping around a lot, and I feel like the CGI quality actually goes down towards the end of the movie. It's almost like they spent all their budget at the beginning, and then once they got halfway through, they're like, oh, we're running out of money, we gotta kind of phone this in a little bit more. What would you rate this movie?
1 to 10, I'd say about a 4.
4? You know, I was kind of really on the fence between a 3 or a 4. I expected to give it a 0. So the fact that I'm even giving it kind of up there a little bit is impressive, but I think I'll agree with that. I think I'll go with 4. It was kind of entertaining here and there. Some of the jokes I thought were kind of funny, even though they were just kind of slapstick random comedy. Okay, I think the biggest thing that killed it for me is there was no suspense in this movie.
I was just about to say that. There
was no suspense in this movie whatsoever. It's all just kind of in-your-face action, and it doesn't really let anything linger. It's one of those movies that doesn't really let the audience, it doesn't treat us like smart people. It kind of like, we have to tell you who these people are, where they are. We're not going to risk letting you kind of figure anything out. It's all just going to be right there, pretty much in your face. And that kind of, there was just nothing. It wasn't like the original where, like you didn't know if the predator was in the background or if he was creeping up on you. It's just, you kind of know exactly where he is at all times. And that kind of, just kind of dull to me.
Yeah, the first one, like, when the guy's crawling around trying to find his friend, and then all of a sudden, you know, in it's suspense, and he's looking for the predator, and he's sitting there, and he's wiping his sweat, and it kind of almost makes you sweat, you know, the suspense, the build-up, and he's sitting there, and he thinks he's got a track on him, and then he realizes he's over here, and, you know, like, stuff like that. It didn't have that.
Yeah, I mean, little things that put you on the edge of your seat. I think I told you even during this movie that, like, there was no point in this movie where I was ever, like, on the edge of my seat with suspense of, like, oh my god, is this character gonna eat it? I pretty much knew right from the beginning who was gonna die and who was gonna live. And the second you see people, you know, okay, that person's gonna live, that person's gonna die. And I don't think I was wrong on any of them. They all kind of just worked. So anyways, that's the... I hope there wasn't really any spoilers, and I think we did a pretty good job of keeping spoilers out this time. There is more to this movie, but it just kind of ramble on. We give it a 4. It wasn't as bad as we thought, but, I mean, it could have been better, but it could have been a lot worse. worse.
Yeah.
Though too. So anyways, if you want to stop the video right now and watch this movie, I guess go right ahead if you really want to. Or if you just want to hear us really going deep and probably start trashing it a little bit more, then continue watching. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I don't want to be one of those
Please.
people that really begs for subscriptions, but we're really dedicated and we want to put out good content for you guys. We want to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, and I think we can do it. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you like the video, like it, comment, tell us what you thought about the movie. If there's anything that really bothered you, or maybe you kind of liked it a little bit more, let us know down in those comments. And until next time, this is Wolfman at the Movies. We'll see you later. Alright, so now we're just going to do a full-on spoiler of this whole shitty movie called The Predator. Not to be confused with with Predator. I almost said The Predator. Like, no, not to be confused with Predator. That movie was good.
Yeah. And which is sad is that Shane Black comes from the original, a classic.
Yeah, that's the biggest one that kills it for me. When I first heard about this movie, I was like, oh yeah, we're getting a Predator movie, and it's directed by someone who was in the original Predator movie, and then to see what he did with it is just like, why? Why the hell would you ever do that? I mean, we both agree it was better than we thought it was going to be, but make no mistake, that doesn't mean that it's good in any respects. I don't think this is going to be a movie that I would ever buy. I really don't care to have this in my collection, and I feel like I've seen it once. I'm probably never really going to come back to it. It was just, the CGI sucked. Okay, there is a scene where, since this is spoilers, so we find out that the Predator that comes into Earth at the beginning is actually a friend of Earth.
And he's a rogue against his own people.
Yeah.
He comes to help Earth and give us a gift.
Yeah, he comes to give us a gift, which, I mean, he kills a couple people the second he lands.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was thinking too.
He doesn't really put out the big friendship flag. He like immediately murders 2 soldiers that he comes across without thinking twice, and then later we find out, oh wait, no, he was trying to help us. He should have gone about it a better way. But when he sends it back, he steals these parts of this like equipment, I guess, from the Predator, and then sends it back to his home. And then the kid just, which is already, I think it's kind of dumb. You're gonna take something that you obviously know is like alien-like, and you're just gonna ship it to your home address where your wife and your kid are, and you're just gonna hope to God that no one opens that box and starts fucking around with what the hell it is, because it just, I feel like I would have sent that to somewhere completely different than just send it right to my home.
Yeah.
But
and then again, conveniently, because movie moments, his kid has Asperger's or autism. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, I'm not. That's another big thing with this movie. Is like the kid is like he's on the spectrum or something, as they refer to it. And honestly, to me, besides being a little, maybe he was just a bad actor. I don't know, but he seemed a little bit quirky and strange. But he didn't really seem like he was like handicapped or anyway, or just different. Like, I mean, he talks shit to a lot of people in the movie, just like full on.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think someone really like that would really be telling people to go fuck themselves and shit, which is kind of funny to hear a little kid say that. But I had a lot of like Mercury Rising moments with this movie of like, conveniently, like you said, this guy has a kid that just happens to be this puzzle wizard. He can solve any puzzle. He has a photographic memory. There's a scene where all these kids are playing chess and these bullies come in and knock all the pieces off for some fucking reason, and the kid knows where every single piece on the board goes. And it's just like, because he's a little bit off, he's apparently a genius. Just Conveniently for this guy, because he sends alien technology to the one person in the world that actually
Can probably use
can read alien language, which that got really dumb.
Take all those kind of parts out and everything, and say with the storyline that this one predator sympathizes with us or likes us and wants to come and give us a gift and everything. Okay. And then where they send kind of like a bounty hunter to get him back and what he took to give to us, the gift that he's given to us. If they would have even just sent another regular predator instead of an 11-foot tall one,
Yeah.
that would have boosted it up a little bit too. Okay, I can follow that, but you don't need to go so far out there on some of these things and make it so.
Yeah.
Try to change it up. Like, stick with what works, the original. Like, okay, there's one that likes us, giving us a gift. Okay, obviously they don't like that. Send another one to get it and give it back.
Yeah. They always have to make it like different in some way. So I think it's more of like the whole twin scenario where you don't forget which one's a good one, which one's a bad one. So it's like, let's automatically make this one 12 feet tall because if the CGI doesn't separate it enough, I mean, when it shows these people back to back when they're fighting, these two predators. Just the whole Super Predator in general was the dumbest thing in the world to me. And the whole premise of why they even go back to even referencing the original movies is that they were hunting down people to then take their DNA so that they could put it into themselves.
And make them better, stronger.
Yeah, upgrade them to be, I guess, Super Predators. And I call bullshit on that because, no, they're just like hunters and killing people to get their skulls is like a prize, not to fucking... And obviously, if you showed up and just killed someone, why the hell do you want to pump that guy's DNA on you? Obviously, he fucking failed. He failed. His DNA isn't all that what it's cracked up to be, but yeah, no, I'm going to sample this shit because this guy lasted 2 seconds. The other guy only lasted 1. I guess that's kind of how they fucking look at it or something.
And how they threw in, which, I don't know about you, but I'm getting sick of in a lot of movies, something about the climate change and that we're going to be dying out soon.
Yeah,
and he's here to help with that somehow too. And just the whole global warming climate change thing is just...
Yeah,
and it didn't even fit in with the movie. They just threw that in there that, oh, our climate's dying, we're going to be dying soon. But it didn't really fit into the story other than that.
That seems to be, a theme in every movie, and especially it seems to be sci-fi movies. Every sci-fi movie, it's because we're destroying the planet and we're global warming, and it's like, yeah, just like you said, it's like, I mean, if you wouldn't have brought that up, I wouldn't have even remembered it. It's that phoned in.
Yeah.
It's like one scene of like, oh, well, we're all gonna die out, so they're just gonna take our world or something, and then they just kind of go on with something else after that. And it's like, why? Yeah, why did you even...
Yeah.
That's not even at all what they're doing.
I mean, Interstellar got it right. It wasn't like the weird destroying the earth and everything, but...
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that. But, oh man, this movie just like... It could have gone so many different ways, and the fact that it went this way is pretty horrible. I mean, automatically, when you meet the ragtag group in the bus, what were they called?
The loonies.
The fucking loonies, because they couldn't come up with anything else fucking smarter than that. They just throw you into a bus. So the protagonist of the movie, I don't even remember anyone's fucking name in this movie, and that's bad. I don't remember anyone's name at all. They take our main protagonist guy and they throw him in this bus with these other like war criminals or something, and they're all just this ragtag stupid group. You got Michael Keegan, I think is his name, from Key and Peele, playing the funny guy because that's who he is in real life, so might as well make him the funny guy. Then you have the fucking Punisher in there.
As a Tourette's.
And he just has Tourette's, which his whole character of just Tourette's is just to throw him in there for slapstick comedy so that he can scream fucking shit and ass at random moments. Like, there's so many scenes where he's just thrown in there just to say, fuck, fuck, fuck! Like, okay, it got a couple laughs out of me. Like I said, I keep on referring back to this movie was better than I thought it was, which is saying a lot. Because I could kind of focus on it to an extent. I mean, the more and more it went, the more and more I think it kind of forgot what the hell it was trying to do. This fucking sucked. I don't even really remember clearly how it ends. It probably had like a self-destructing bomb at some point. Or no, wait, a guy throws himself into a fucking propeller on a fucking alien ship. And that just takes down the ship, and then what, he just gets shot or something after that? Like,
yeah.
that's bad, I feel like, when we just watched the movie, and I can't really remember how the giant predator even fucking died. Anyways, this movie is better than we thought it was, but it's not to say it's a fucking good movie at all, so you should probably just stay away from it. But anyways, I guess we'll just see you guys next time. We're going to try to find a movie that's actually good and review that. But until then, I guess we'll just stick with this for right now. So, peace!